Meanwhile, we have this. President Trump says he plans on speaking with the Russian president and the Ukrainian leader tomorrow. This all in hopes of reaching an end to that 3-year-long war.
That's right. Rebecca Castor is live in Washington with more of those details. Rebecca, good morning.
Good morning. President Trump says he can still get a ceasefire in Ukraine if he meets directly with Vladimir Putin, and this phone call could be the first step in setting that up. The president posted on Truth Social he'll have calls with Putin, Zelensky, and NATO members on Monday to discuss, quote, stopping the bloodbath that is killing on average more than 5,000 Russian and Ukrainian soldiers a week in trade. Here's what the U.S. ambassador to NATO had to say on that last hour.
I think President Trump's bold diplomacy is driving Russia and Ukraine towards a ceasefire. It's not happening as fast as he probably would hope, but I think it showcases his commitment to peace, to ending this war, and to America First leadership.
Peace talks are dragging on after Putin skipped meetings in Turkey last week. And when Trump found out his Russian counterpart wouldn't be there, he let Secretary of State Marco Rubio go it alone. Instead, Trump focused on his trip to the Middle East, where he was treated like royalty by government leaders in Saudi Arabia, Qatar, and the United Arab Emirates. Here's what he brought home with him: $600 billion in investments from Saudi Arabia, over $243 billion from the Qataris, and from the Emirates, $200 billion and a pledge to invest $1.4 trillion in U.S. businesses over the next decade. Someone who's not impressed with Trump's trip, though, is the supreme leader of Iran. He's slamming the president as intense negotiations over a nuclear deal continue. The supreme leader posting, Trump wants to use power for peace, he's lying. And the U.S. president proposed a model to Arab countries, according to which these countries cannot survive for even 10 days without the U.S. This is definitely a failed model. Due to the termination of the nations of West Asia, the U.S. must and will leave this region. This comes after Trump said Iran had to move quickly on the U.S. proposal for its nuclear program, or something bad is going to happen. Todd, Rachel, and Guy, back to you.
Thank you, Rebecca.
I'm Steve Doocy.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.